started the video before the time because I'm losing it. I'm losing my connection, losing my trend of thought. First, I want to talk about what I wrote about at the beginning. And there's an expression, mon œil, my eye. Why do we use it? We use that expression usually as I don't believe you. Okay, to believe and not to believe, so it's like leading me somewhere. One eye, aye, captain. So I is the ninth letter, and you have one and two eyes. 9 and 9 is 18. The ninth and the 18th letter, they come into the same house. They're created from number 99 with 1 and 8. At the same time, 1 and 8, 2 and 7, and 3 and 6 are all created from the same realm. It is just freaking crazy. It becomes 360 degrees. It's the house of bait that reflects to love in the sun. There's only two letters that don't reflect each other that will create number 54. That's the numeric value for love, the numeric value for sun. What's ironic is that in the word LOVE, the opposite letters of each other, okay, then there's in between letters of each other, because in the word love is love. The tunnel of love is a tunnel of U. Are you going through it? Is it a tunnel as a U or is it an O? That if you sat in the C of the tunnel, the bottom part that completes the tunnel from the C becomes that little, half moon, and that creates what is the O going through the tunnel of love. Now, since you have when you sit down, your bum does that, you have to be two parts in order to do this. So you'd be two O's coming together. Now, if you put them over each other, you'd only have that crack, and you'd have the, I think they call it the kundalini that would come through it by putting two circles over each other. And in between that circle, you become it. Now, where was I? What was I talking about? The letter O, the 15th letter, yes. See, when you have the letter O, L, V, E, you see inside this word is the 15th letter. It's 1 and 5 equals to 6. And that's F, and that's O. The next letter that comes into this family is the 24th letter. It's X. So when you're sending X's and O's or 666s, you're sending your, what are you sending, right? What is it when you're sending love? What are you sending? Because when you play tennis, right, it could be 30 love. It can be 15 love. It can be 40 love. And then what is it? It's deuce, right? Or it's 1 up. This is your tennis understanding where love comes from. So at least we understand these scores and the scores that we can get. We can have 15 and love comes, boom, right over here. To break out of love, that's your first extension because you ain't got nothing to start with. You have the O, you have your first 6, the creation of light in AE. When this changes, it changes at 17. It becomes JG, and then JH, and then JI. That's where that one comes in right here, right? Understanding how numbers work, right? How letters work. Number 5 in Roman numerals. What is the I valued at 9, right? And the alphabet is only valued at 1, where V is the 22nd letter, but it is the reverse E5, and it is valued, okay, as 22. It is valued at 5. So why is the I, which is valued at 1? Because AI, where I plays a role inside 9 by being 1 of 8, equaling to what is 9. Almost looks like give. So this is how I understand tennis a little bit. The reason for that is this scoring. It just came out of that letter O, and the equation in tennis tells me about this. Tennis also shows me two sides. There's a serving area. You notice tennis sort of shows you like number almost 18 or 80, right? Because it has two areas divided, because when you serve the ball, you have to get it in a certain area, and when you play doubles, that area extends. So I haven't done all the math, what's going on in that, but I can still tell you, you're playing two players. You can be playing four players. I've never really seen it at three. I know the norm. If you get out to something special, that'll be a special case. We'll have to create an equation for it. Equation. Who created the calculator? Thank you very much. Who created the ruler? Thank you very much. Who gave it names? Who called this the red pencil? Then they gave it a specific name made from a certain company. Every single word that we speak, we have letters. We say the words. Hi, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Hey, what can I do for you? So we can choose. And now we have to bring psychology in this. The tone of your voice. I don't like the tone of your voice. Well, hold on a second. You never went to school. You don't have a diploma. Who are you to judge the tone of my voice? So these are would you say, the innate things we come into life with? We don't like to hear things. So our body already knows things without us knowing anything at all. You don't really know. And then we pick it up through our senses. We learn, we understand the emotions. Oh, I smell it. It smells so good. Oh, it looks so terrible. Well, close your eyes and eat it. Oh, I don't like the texture, but it tastes so good. But how can I like it? I already decided I don't like the texture. So something's going on with these receptors. Who are we to be able to decide? Who are we? Well, what I can find is that everything has been created, that is created, can be reflected through letters, through math, coming from games. You can't, let's say you have a leftover of something. You can't throw it away. You can't take away what's already on camera. There's a trillion cameras out there. Memories, little teeny bits of memory all over. More than there's sand in the world. For every area of space, there is something that is whole within its own, that can transport or transmit or remember something. That if you were in a television set, every part of that television set, every working piece of that television set is telling another piece something else. But does the beginning of the television set know what's going to happen on the screen? So how can you intricately understand what's going beyond the area space between me and you, that you can move your hands? You can actually not, if you can't see it, but you can create and imagine it by creating the blueprints inside the equations coming from games. We accept things. I want to know who wants a die. Now, do you want to die or do you want to die? This is noted to be one die. Then you roll them. Now, when you play with two die, it becomes a pair, because two is a pair. Now, I didn't say, if I was French and you say pair, you would think it'd be my father. That would be P-E-R-E, E-R-E, 595, starting with 16. The capital letter at the beginning of the word is special and beyond. First letter is always special. And sometimes the last, first best. I mean, the beginning of your lace and the end of your lace is the same thing. One is on the right, one is on the left. First and last, 1 and 9. 1 plays a role inside of 8. 1 in the center of 8, and the clock goes around 1. 8 goes around 1. 1 or 10. Or is it 10? 8 times 12.5, I think it is. Is that 100? 8 times 12.5. Remember that. Yo, yo. 8 times 12.5. 8 times 12.5. And 8 times 13.5 also have to multiply them both by 9. Okay? But 1 is what's in the center of the other 8. So I don't want to count what's in the middle because that only gives me a diameter instead of the circumference. So the D for diameter, I meter, diameter, and diameter and circumference. Oh, I don't know what it is. EN or AN. So it's a D and it's a C. We live in the house of DC. One is a DI, the other is a CI. So it's 49 and 39. Oh, that is incredible. I was also thinking of something before I need to remember. Oh my God. Wow, I don't remember what it was, but it brought a bunch of numbers together. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. It brought 1 and 8 together, 2 and 7 together, and 3 and 6 together. It was 3 and 6 equals to 18 and 9 equaling to 27. So how did I get to 36? I need to remember how I'm getting to 36. Okay, anyways, diameter and circumference. So it starts with DI and then it's CI. Now there's a lot of things that are going on. I have to build the web. You have to, this is a game. I mean, right now, just by this, what this tells me is I have another situation going on with the DI. 4 and 9, your ID, dia equaling to day, IA 1 through 9, 19 is IA. So anyways, let's go to the first part. The first part is, in French, we say Monday ends with DI. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All end with the letter D and I. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. But Sunday is not the same. The seventh day is not the same. Sunday, you start with the DI. So it becomes 4994. You start Sunday with DI, okay, and you end with chi, CHE. And then you begin lundi. And I have to try to understand how this word texts together, right? Creation, heaven, female. I always looked at this is your blackjack creation, your 9 and your 12 creation. That's your birth in the house, 21. You need 1 through 21. When you add them, it equals to, right? Add them up, it equals to 231. Instead of ABC, it becomes BCA. 77, 77, 77. The house of the child. 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 equals to 49. 7 plus 7 equals to 14. It is DNA. I'm going to do this right here. 7 times 7 equals to 49. It equals to the word 8. Okay. This will equal to my 36 and my 13. That is, what is man 28 at the age of 13. This here, okay, when you finish this off, you add 14 over here and it will equal to 63. So here's my 63 over here. Let me see if I got this right. 4 times 9, 4 plus 9. 4 times 9 equals to 36. 4 plus 9 equals to 13. Okay, we're going to leave this one over here. This one is going to create 19. This one is going to create 27. 1 and 2 coming together. At the gate comes the birth of AI. So this would be 37. 2 and 1 is 3. and 9 and 7 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. You can also go 3, 1, 6. 9 and 7 is 16, 1 and 2 is 3, 3, 1, 6. There's another one for this. I don't want to make anything up, so I'm going to leave it for now. So when you get 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, you create these two letters. I'm a little off of what was over here. I'm a little off for the weeks, but I'm going to get back to that in a second. So it creates this over here. That's number 99. 99 will create 81 and 18. This is going to create 8 and 9. That will create 17 and 27. That will be your, I like to call, what is the connection to electric company and the moon? This number over here. 2 and 1 equals to 3. 7 and 7 is 14. So you end up with 3, 1, 4, which 1 and 4 creates 5, the beginning of pi. This is a division between night and day. And I'm going to tell you why I say it. It's my choice of words. And it becomes what is 2/3 and what is 1/3. When you add this together, it equals to the whole. It equals to 1 complete. 16 hours a night, 8 hours a day to the 24 hours a day. And the description in this would be 2 times 4 equals to 8. 2 plus 4 equals to 6. Now what it does on these dice cubes that are professional dice cubes, as you can see, 5 and 2 come together, where 6 and 1 come together, where 3 and 4 come together. So what happens over here? So when you put 42 together, if you put 15 together or 33 together, you will end up with 44, 35, and 62. So when you have 4 and 2 together, you have 35. When you have 3 and 3 together, you end up with 44. When you have 1 and 5 together, what happens to be Mars and the Queen? Okay, when you put 51 together, 5 and 1 together, you end up with 62. And it's not sleight of hand. Look, it's the opposite side of the dice. It's the same thing for the angle. See, it's going this way. When your 2 is angling towards the bottom right, automatically it's the 1 or the 6 on top. When it's the 1 on top, okay, doesn't matter, 1 or 6, 2 is always going to do the same way. But when it's 1 on top and this happens, you're going to note this dice as 15 or 20, 2015. That was your end periodic of 5775 was the year 2015. OT. I don't know if it means OT is over. It's 512. Remember that 512, 215, 512 memory, 1.25 days left over at the end of the year. 5 times 5 times 5 equals to 125. 555 equals to 15. Now, where does this come from? Earth, 52. Mars, 51. The high creation reverse is 12. And 98, the high creation. We want to bring everything to what is understood as 360. 360 is known to be going around. If you're going around the center of something. We're just bringing things into perspective to better understand circumference and diameter added into that. So I use the formula of 1, 4, and 7 with a separation of 3. I get that information from the same information you get it, right here, where I have to understand that if I'm going to get this information, it has to be somewhere in the world already. And I know this year, like last year and the year before, and they're predicting for next year too, there's going to be 7 months of 31 days, in which twice in the year by the solstice, I think it's the time of the solstice that you get 2 months, January and December, JD 410, communication separation of the cube, or what you get as the 7th and 8th month, both of 31 days. 7 and 8 is your gateway, 78. When you add up 1 through 12, it equals to 78. The 12th card is the Queen. The Queen holds 8 eyes. The Queen has all her eyes, and the hat she wears on a 45-degree angle, talking about 666. Why 666 on the 45-degree angle? Give me a minute. That came off the top of my head, and I forget. It was the Fox passage. It was number 8. The reverse of what is 888 is 666. But there's another reason I said it, and I don't. Oh, 45. Yes, Fox. Right. Okay. What it is when you add up all the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 9, it equals to 45. The word fox is the 6th letter, the 15th letter, and the 24th letter. Those three letters, 6 and 15 and 24, equals to 45. The average of what is the 6th letter, okay, equaling to 18 plus 27 inside the house of Bait. 6 times 3, 6 plus 3 equals 18, and 9, 27. This one will equal to 45 and 99. The spirit in the house of Bait. This is the passage of the 7th gate. It plays in between here while it goes around this one. And these two are very special, right? You don't need anything else, because you automatically know with this one, the 2 is always going to go this way, right? Now, when you see the number 2 and the 2 is on top. Now check it out. Only with 3 or 4 will the 2 go this way. So this is called grave, and this is called aigu. We need to understand how our dice work. There's only 3 numbers it does it on. It does it on the 2, the 6, and the 3. 5 up, 1 up. When the 1 is up, the 3 is top to the right, the 2 is down. When the 4 is up, the 2 is to the right, the 3 is to the left. Wait, no, the 3 is in the bottom. What am I talking about? The 3 is gone. I think it has to be this way. Yes, that's the way it has to be. When the 1 is up, the 2 and 3 both come together. Can the 2 and 3 not be together and pointing in 2 different directions? Anyways, I'm not going to talk about it because I haven't looked into that. There's too many cans of worms that open up. So we understand what's happening between 6 and 8. Now, we also know that the Queen in the deck of cards, by the way, the Queen is number 62. Jack is number 25. The Jack has 6 eyes. The Queen has 8 eyes. The King has 7 eyes. Here it's 7-1. Here it's 7-2. Here it's 7-2. Here it's 7-1. Here it's all, did I do that right? Here it's all 8-2. In the cycle of man. What does this mean? It means every single queen has 2 eyes, but not every single king. 1 out of 4 does not. When it comes to the Jack, it's 666 with 2-2-1-1. I don't know where this is going to fit, what I'm going to do with this right now. One talks about the spirit. The other one talks about the queen. It talks about the game. It talks about the card. It also talks about sleeping and doing nothing, slumber. And the reason for that is because in number 26 is the word bear. And bears tell me that they hibernate. So right away, the word bear, Nate. What do we see here? This is 89. The H and the I came together, so I created a window. So we're talking about Mars. Mars is the window. 89, reflection to 1 and 2 creation. Here's 1, here's 2. This is the word bear, B-E and A-R. 2 and 9 in the house of Bait. Number 27. This one here is 36. It's in the beehive. The beehive. Let me see if I have that picture still that I had. Oh, here it is. Yeah, let me see if I can show you this 1 second. And I want to talk about what I put up there on the, so if you can see it, when I take one Star of David, another Star of David, and put them around, I end up with 2 beehives. So everything is always separated with 2 hives, 1 hive here, 1 hive here. And these are 1, 2, 3, always 3 to connect. And then how many over here? You got, let me see, you got 1 to create them all. You need 1, 2, and you notice the Star of David that's in between, right? Where's that other Star of David that gets created? The bigger Star of David all the way out here. Hold on a second. I got to figure out why there's so much light here. Something's wrong. Wow, I wish you can see this better. What's going on? Let me try and fix something here. Anyways, just to make a long story short, can I fix this? 1 second. Let me see. No. Maybe just a little bit. Okay, let me just I don't know. Maybe I'll just get rid of it. But anyways, if you take a look, they were all created, see, for slow-moving vehicles. So I put all those things for slow-moving vehicles together. Remember, we were created on day 6 with the animals, right? Animal, right? DNA on the same day as animal. And then you have these inside of here, you have the 2 diamonds on this side. And then when you do this, you end up with the little beehive in between here, all the little beehives, and then the larger beehive. So I'm not really sure what this had to do with anything right now. I do know that by multiplying 6s, I end up at the moon. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 2160. It's 216 times 10. Okay, everything is complete at 10. Number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 ends of a shoelace. 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2 plus 0. You can't do 3 because 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. You can't do 6 because it's 6, 12, 18, 24. 2 and 4 is 6. You can't do 9 because every one is 99999. So 9 gets to repeat on 2, and all 6 and 3 get to repeat on 4. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. It is both 6 and 3, 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, the I and R, that will create the dividing gate. There's only 2 letters in the 99 house. And I found a new word that complements 13, the house that passes by the singular moon. 2 sexes, 1 moon. They're not talking about Phobos or Demas. We cannot leave out our brother. That's what I want to call this. I don't want to leave the brother of arms out. And if you do know the brother of arms, that if you turn around the word arms, it says Mars. If you turn around the word Mars to a numeric value, 51 is Mars. There are 4 letters. 4 times 20, 4 letters. 4 times 27 equals 108. Take away the value of Mars, 51, at least 57. The word Heinz is number 57. 5 and 7 representing male and female through king and queen, representing both Mars and Earth. And the way that happens in numbers, if I can remember it by the time I write it down, I just wanted to talk it, but I'm just going to write it down. Now, when we reverse the alphabet in this, it becomes Heinz. And the total here, and then we have to remember that there's a letter missing, right? There's a letter missing. Like we're missing we're missing letters. We're missing Q. Here we're missing nothing. Okay, we're going to get reduced. Here we're missing. Let me see this. Here we're missing. Just trying to see what we're missing here. And here we're missing what's in between here. In between, okay, let me just leave that out for now. Okay, I'm going over my head with this for some reason. I don't know why I'm talking about this. But just to note that when I say brother in arms, is because when we create the H here, and we create the I here, and we create the N here, and we create the Z here, we get what is 40, we get what is 17, 8, 4. But when I put them over each other, well, this is not the way it's supposed to be done, sorry. Okay, what happens is we end up with this. We end up with the star, and that's my brother in arms. You also have to note that it is fourth, so it begins at TH, 28, in the cycle of man periodic, 3 periodic. That means the cycle of the moon will go 3 by 28 for 84, which will equal 4 times 21. And that happens 3 times and 1/3 every single year for 13 moons. And note that we went with number 57 and 51. And to get this, it's 3 by 19 equaling to 57, and 3 by 17 equaling to 51. Now, I know I got off the subject of where I was before, but in the 28th cycle of man, the numeric value for man is 28. It's a 3-period cycle because in order for these cubes to come back again, right, it's got to be a minimum of 3, and the completion of the cycle, okay, is 4 cubes. 4 cubes equals to 84. And when you turn this, what it's telling me, I need to go from 1 to 2. So I go from 1 over to 2. Now I turn, oh, look, I'm going to turn 90 degrees. I'm going to turn to 3, 90 degrees. So I went 90, and then I went 90. Now I need to go to 4, and I'm looking for number 4, and I don't see it because it's 180 degrees on the other side. So you are going to end up with I, R in this situation, and there is no reverse. This total will be a total of either 9, 18, or 27. That's going to be your totals. And then you can just add them up after that, because that's where it all ends. It ends on 9. 9 times 9 equals to 81. 9 plus 9 equals to 18. How did we get to 9? 3 to the power of 2. If we have 3 to the power of 2, we have to have 2 to the power of 3. If we're creating what is 1 and what is 2, we automatically have to create what is 3. Now, if we created all of these, now I got to see something. If I created 3, what's on the other side of 3? It's 4. So now I have to create number 4. I have number 1. What's on the other side of number 1? Whoop. Now I have to create number 6. Now I got number 2. Well, what's on the other side of number 2? Right here's number 2. What's on the other side? Now I got to do number 5. And those are all my 7s. Now we're going to give it a value. 1 gets a value of 5. 2 gets a value of 10. 3 gets a value of 15. There's your creation through Mars. Okay, what does 4 get you? 4 gets you a value of, I'm going to write 20. 107, 56, 58, 34, 60, 42, 39, 44, and 21, 65, 56, 65, 11, 11. The 2, the word, what did I have over here? 5, 10, 15. Oh, yes. And then the 5 and the 6. So the 6 will get you, we're just going to say 5. 107 plus 42. It'll get you 149. Okay, now what did I do here? This is going to get you 30. This is going to get you 25. So just give me a second to just put this on this side. This is going to get you 20. And now let me explain what I just did. The average of every single dot is 5. When you add up all these numbers, it equals to 45. Divided by 9, the average of 5. You have 1 dot. I'm going to write it smaller now, maybe get a little more space. You have 1 dot. The numeric value for 1 is 34. But when you have the 1 dot, which the numeric value is 39, so you have the 1 dot. So the 1 dot has a value of 5. So every dot has a value of 5. So 2, which is equal to 58, right? You get 10. So the beginning of your AB creation is 5, 10. So you can also use 5 and 1 if you want. Now the numeric value for Mars is 51. In fact, the numeric value MDCLXV is 5, is 151515. What is this? Roman numerals. All the Roman numerals are 151515 when counted to a single digit, except when you're counting from 1000 over to 500. It's not like counting from 500 over to 100, as it seems the same, right? You're counting from the other side of 9. The halfway point between above and below is 9. The end of the shoelace is 1000. 10, 10, 10. It is the third world. 10, 10, 10, the letter M, which can be noted as the letter I, but we won't get into that. Okay, so you have from here to here, you go 9, 8, 7, and 6. And from here, you go 4, 3, 2. So now we understand the area where we get 4 and the area we get 3. We get 4 for the Mars, the mirror, and we get 3 for the Earth. We get our vibration. Within this one, we get our birth at 9, into the heavens of the 7th gate, living the life of light of the one spirit. That is the half-life right over here. In the spirit of 76. 1691 is spirit. 61 is church. It is the day. It is living in the summer day. Let's see if I can explain that. Let's leave it out. The word sun is 48, which is 3 by 16. 91 is 7 by 13 equals to 91. 4 times 91 equals to 364, or 13 moons. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I want to go back to what I was doing. So now we see that every single dot has a value of 5, but we also have to note that 1 has 8 void. 1 dot, 8 void. So this one's going to get 5, and this one's going to get 40. So if I want to write 5, right, it's telling me about a divided gate between 6 and 8, between the jack and the queen. We want to look at it counting the eyes. We also have to say the word house and the word cat and understand the cube itself. The cube itself of what is 5 and 4, 9, to what is 2 and 3, 5, to what is 6 and 3, 9, to what is 1 and 4, 5. So we have 4 and 5, and then we have the Ram, 2, 3, BC, beta creation, before the Christ. And then when we have 63, on the bottom we have 41, home, king, and then it'll reflect DNA, and then it'll go birth inside the sun, the 9 birth inside the sun, So, and there's going to be mathematical equation. This is the IT system in the sun of your 11 birth. Yo 11, that's your birth. And this is where 512 comes in. Y is the 25th letter. O is the 15th letter. This will create your 31. 2 and 1 is 3, 5 and 5 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. Now we're going to see if we can get the passage in the moon. By doing this, it equals to 75. By doing this, it equals to 57. This is our passage, electric company passage in the moon. We're not here. You have a body. It is here. You are only the extension, the end inside the machine. That's all it is. This is where the queen and the king come out. This is where the bar mitzvah, 13, man, 28, to what is the bat's mitzvah, the queen, 78, 91, 13. Now let me explain it. What happens with man when he achieves the age of 13? The word man equals to 28. From a boy, yo, boy, in the house of bait, the boy becomes a man. 28. In the 13 cycles of the moon for 364 days a year, 3 times 6 are 36, and 4 for being born into the mirror world. 3, 6, 4. There's 1.25 days missing in the spirit of Earth. This is where Mars comes in. Mars is the window. Mars is 51. Earth, on the other hand, is 52. So it's both ways. You can't do them both at the same time and crisscross the traffic. And then you're going to show your number 4 and your number 9. When 4 and 9 come together on the left hand or in the cold blue world, you are born. You are married. And you are born, because birth is on the same finger as marriage. The finger of marriage, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9 months of birth. 9 by 24 hours a day, because its reference is to the day of birth. 9 by 24 is 180. Resh, R, born into the sun. What was that calculation again? I had to do extra thinking. I might have to back up this video. Born into the sun, Resh, 3 by 18. I'm just trying to think where I was with my thought. I just got derailed. Man, born into the sun, 364 days. Just let me think. Just give me a minute. The 1.25 days at the end of the year. Okay, 2 representing that we're in the house of bait here, where the 7th gate is inside the void. 35 and 10. 5 times 5, 5 plus 5. Sky pass. Now, before I was talking that we were number 31, born in the blue world is number 40, and I was talking about number 13. Okay, the bar mitzvah. I'm going to get back to that. So this becomes the man's world, running by the man's cycle. The period is at the end of 28 days. If you have it, the child is not born, the angel is not born. If you don't have the period, you eliminate what is the understanding of the word period, meaning it's eliminating the ending of a cycle and the continuation of the fourth moon. Not the third moon, but the fourth moon will tell you that you've mirrored the cycle only into the fourth moon. It means you could have started in the second moon, but you won't know till the end of that cycle, it's 3 moons, but it's 4 cubes. Now remember, each cube has a value of 54 dots. When the female comes in, I lost it. Oh, here it is, right here. There's 1,404. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. There's 1,404 areas for dots. If each and every single one of us was made with area space as thus. But since this cube only shows me that I can only create an X and I can't go across because I'm going to have to guess where the center is and I'm not allowed to use measurement, I come across this way. But there are certain cubes that I can come across again by using these lines over here. But for now, it's only valued at 4. So I get 24 times 9 is 216. That is the numeric value for the, I think, the diameter of the moon. 216 times 4, which becomes the mirror, is 8640. There's 8640. I think it's the distance of Earth to moon, or 108 times something that creates that number. But 8640 is the number of seconds in a day. I think it's 86,000. 2160 by 6 would be 1.5 times. 2160 times 6 equals to 12,960. 1 cube, 1 die equals this number. Does anybody know this number besides 1 and 2 creating 396? This is the number to half the Mayan time of 25,920. The 2 and 5 come together to create 7920, which is the diameter of the Earth. 5 and 2 come together, 9 and 2 come together, same blackjack. At the same time it says game, it creates Z and Y 51 Mars. At the same time, it becomes 7, 11. The reverse of this cube is 7, 11. Count them. There's 9. There's 9 on the other side. It's a total of 18. Take away the dots on this side and the dots on that side. So take away 7 areas of 18. You have 11. 7, 11. You can't get away from the truth. 7 and 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 7 and 2 in the house of fate. It's in the Iyer house. I and R. Creation of Reich, the Third Reich, in the sun. When we say 17, 18, and 19, I know I skipped over something. I'll try and get back to it. When we say 17, 18, 19, 17 is in regards to Mars. It's also in a reflection of the 3 little pigs. And one of the reasons I believe that they say don't eat pork. Pork is a reflection, never to forget something. So we put a stipulation always to remember not to do something. We don't forget about something we shouldn't do. We always remember to refrain from it. And the pork, the pig, has a 3-month, 3-week, 3-day birth cycle. And that is your rotation, your base rotation before you mirror of this entire calculator. Everything goes back into form, multiplying by 3 and adding to a single digit. Also, in reference to 7, 4, and 1, is when you put 1 over 7, which are the extremities, it will create what is in the center. What happens if I put 2? See, it's funny that, no, I'm not going to start doing that right now. Okay, I need to get a little drink. I'm going to come back in 2 seconds. I'm going to see if there's any comments, what I missed out on. Oh, boy, there's a lot. Sorry, I missed all that. Give me a second. Okay, let me go through all the messages now. I'm going to just stop. I'm going to try to right. I spoke about something that I completely forgot about. When we say deuce, there's a word that doesn't mean, that is not referenced to number 2, but I use it as number 2, the same as I use the duck as number 2. I also use the duck for using, when I say chicken, it's number 1 and 9. When I say duck, it's number 5 and 13, matter and energy for the duck. And I also like to say duck gets number D for 500 in Roman numerals. Why? Because the duck can fly 500 miles. Not only that, the duck has orange feet, the ducks that I see. I'm only going to talk about the feet. And the chicken has yellow feet. So I'm just basing it on that quick. If I was a child, we are all the children of creation. So in the game of roulette, they have a special place on the board, right, in roulette. And if you take a look at it, right, it's going to be 21, 35, 66, 75. And you go to the other side, it becomes 51, 57, 75. When you go to the roulette board and you look up orphans, like Morpheus, orphans, you know, all the same thing. Give me this for a second. Orphan roulette. So we go to orphan roulette. We're going to go to images. I'm going to move it just to see. And we got an image over here, right? And it says orphan roulette 5775. So when I talk about this, it's not because I want to talk about it. It's because it's already here. See, that's Cora. And I'm not the only one. They also show a racetrack over here, right? This little game here, right, is that when you put a chip in between these two, right, you look at that, you can connect black, and you can connect black, and you can connect black. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. There's only 5. And when you do the red, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Is that 5 and 4 connections? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 and 5 black. So that's 4 times 17, right? That's 4 times 17 horizontal equals 68 the house, or 5 by 17, 85 is matrix for the different color. 27 red, 29 black, 9, 11. Now the sideways. Can we connect any sideways reds? Look at that. There's no sideways reds. Are there any sideways blacks? Look at that. There are 2. 21 and 57. So the cube of 21 dots is now connected to the moon. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4 equals 10. 5 and 6, the pull equals to 11. We're running on the pull of 11, but the ring that we wear is 10. Windows 10, Windows 11. Window is 88. 88 happens to be one of the gates of Q because of how you create 8 times 8, 64. 6 and 4 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 1 and 7 come together. But when you go back to 8 times 8, 64, the 64 will create DC and eventually create AI. So there's a whole rule. There's a rule and there's an ending to there's a further added on. Hello, amigo. There's a further add-on to definitions. We only play with the skeleton. Yes, 89, 79. Yes, 79, it takes it to another level. And there's a separation because in the 80s, right, it's not like in the 70s. Because in the 70s, you don't say 77 like you say 87. It's separate. One of them, you're saying it in, first of all, 81, 82, 83 will be the first of their kind, because you'll go 81st, 82nd, 83rd. Unlike 84th, will be relevant all the way to 89th and play a role in 89th and in 88 and in 87. Although it'll play a role in the rest of 86, 85, 84, they're replaced on the other side of 5, where 5 is a pole in between what is 9, not because I say so, but because here is 9 and here's your 5. Or here is 9 and then 41 is your 5. 4 and 1. This will create your DNA, and this will be your entry into the sun system. ETTE. ETTE 25 2552 212 55 35 electric company. Yes, that's what I was speaking about before. When I took us as number 35, right? Creation of the E world. When you put 7 over 3, it equals to 10. When you put 5 over 5, it equals to 10. So that becomes the center of the 360 degrees, will become the one spirit in the 8th heaven that's controlling the wheel that goes around inside. Not the eye. It's not the eye. When you put 2, this is a question. This is questionable how we put our wheels over each other, how they work. Where's the center spin? How big is lost to the center? There's 2 centers and one with no center. That must be the front clock, the face. That's probably where Mars Windows comes in, right? Or is it the Earth that comes in because we need 3? We need a place for our 2 eyes on each side of our nose, right? 2 eyes, and then our nose and our mouth somewhere down here. So we put a pin. If we put a pin up here, right, it's going to go up and it's going to go all the way down. When I put a pin in the center, it's equal above as below. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go when I'm building. Anyways, I still wanted to stick with 5775. I also want to talk about what I missed. There's just so many things. Yes, the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah. This cube ends on the bat mitzvah. There are 26 cubes. There are 6 sides on every single cube. 6 by 26, 156. 156. So we go 156. Let me see if I can get this up here. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on a second. I'll see if this works at all. 156 divided by 13. 156 divided by 13. 13 moons a year, 156 months equals to 12 years. The bat mitzvah at 12. What happens at 12? 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 and 2. 3 and 2 equals to 5. Well, then, what about the bar mitzvah? Well, that happens at 13. 1 times 3, 3. 1 plus 3, 4. Right away, the house is built in man through the moon, house of DC. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4, 7. 180 degrees apart. Unlike the 3 and 2, which are only 90 degrees apart when you turn the dice cube to 3 and 2. I'm not looking for a value with 2 cubes. I could if I want. The minimum value with 2 cubes is 2. Maximum is 12. With 1, it's 1 and 6. So we have to remember those numbers. Okay, where was I going with this? Bar mitzvah, yes. So now we get the 5 and the 7 coming together through the bar mitzvah. We get 5 and 7, but that is when it ends. At 13 years, at 13 moons is 169 moons, 168 hours, and 1 hour. Monopoly has 169 area spaces to it, and the board is made of 2020. The reason for this is because all the corners are square, and because that's where the center is. This is one area, and all of this is 168, like the 168 hours in a week plus 1 hour, right? And then here are all the properties, right? Here are the trains. See the 9 areas we get? That's where the trains come in. But all in all, everybody knows that when you got the trains, they take up both sides of the track. Trains always take up both sides of the track. So there we go. This here is 6, 1, and 6 areas. So it'll be 13, 13, 13. There are 39 areas taken for the trains here, in which 30 and 9 angel because of the center. There'll be 30 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Did I get that right? Did I get that right? 13, 13, 13, 39. 5, 10, 15. 15 and 15 is 30. Right, plus the 9. Okay, I got that. 30 plus the 9. Okay. And then over here is 15 and 15. So we have a total of 69 for the trains. And we have 100 and 100 left over. So now we're going to take away the corners. The corners are 16. 69 and 16 equals to 85. And that becomes the matrix. Becomes a silver matrix. Becomes electric company. 40 and 13 equals to 53. Electric company, it's going to connect up to the moon, creating 10, 10. 5 and 5, 10. 7 and 3, 10. The reason for this is when you get a 10, it becomes the center, or it becomes 1 center to 8 that surround. But if this was, I think I went a little bit over myself. Usually when I get the center, there's 2 ways to create the center. There's this center here. And then there's the center over here. Not really sure which one I should use. This is the one with the donut. It gets 1. This center might be the Mars center. This would be 4. This would be a 9 will. So I'm just going to jump off of this for a second. I'm not brushed up on this. This thing has to be discussed. I'm just going to do it a little bit simpler. The area here where the properties are, I was making it a little too complicated, right? In fact, this is number 31. Remember, 31 gets you to the moon and electric company, brings you back to number 11. But if you want free parking, you're going to have to get blackjack for 21. And the beginning of the game is this one over here. This is number 1 and number 40. When you get 1 and 40, creates 41 within the same spot. You go on to 1 and you go 1 to come back as 40. The property that's the last property to get in the game is this one over here. I think it's the Mediterranean, if I remember. This is the number 41st property. And 41 is for home of 11. 6 times 5, 6 plus 5 equals to 11, equals to 30, equals to a total of 41, or minus it, 19. Birth on the moon, 3 by 19 equals 57. Now I talked about, and I'm going all over the place, so I'm going to read what's up there. I want to finish with this. All around here, there's 18 times 4 equals to 72. There's 4 corners of 4 squares equals to 16, and your borderline of 88. Purple is 88. 38, 48, 58, 59, 69, 72, 88. Pegasus, 88. This will create 64 and 16 equal to 80. 80 is in reference to bronze. Now this over here is 88, and inside is 81. Venus, created from 99 or 9 plus 9. Venus is what will create your 8 and 9. Your heaven's birth is what creates Venus. And Venus shows up this way, and Venus shows up this way. It's showing me that Mars was broken in half to run Venus. Nothing begins until 4. 4, 5, and 6 are all the same. See that? 4 corners of the 4 are in 5 and 6. The letters that are on 4, 5, and 6 are the Fed. Why? Why is the Fed on 4, 5, and 6? Because it becomes the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th letter. And when you design that in art, it looks like that. So if you want to just put that letter back together, it looks like that. It becomes 4, 5, 6 in Roman numerals. 22 represents monkey, ape, life. 51 is Mars. 5, 1, and 1 becomes Earth. Earth is 52. Okay, I have to take the questions. I'm going a little bit all over the place. I think I'm starting to get tired after an hour. 360 degrees, it just keeps going round and round. But this one goes around, this one overlaps it and goes around, it goes out here, it goes up here. As everything keeps turning, things keep going. Nothing's stopping. This one goes around. Listen, I'm just delivering the mail. Somebody wrote the mail. I wrote back the mail. It's just a big wheel. It's just a big wheel. That's all it is. It's you know, in order to speak, I need to use a tool, and that tool that I'm using is for you to understand me. The tool is for you to understand me is time. Because if I would say my word 100 times faster, you wouldn't hear my word. So there's a time for the vibration that it comes off of my mouth onto you. Just give me 1 second. Oui, j'étais en train de parler avec quelqu'un. Tu passes-tu ou qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ben, pour de suite, je ne peux pas rien faire. Puis en plus, je fais une vidéo. Je vais rappeler quand j'ai fini. Bye. Okay. Yeah, I hope I didn't lose myself there. So we had 88. Yes. The other thing about that is, if you remember, we have 88 on the border, right? We have 81 on the inside. In that 81 that's on the inside of Monopoly, in that 81 that's inside of here, remove this one over here because it's 80 that goes around 1, and there's 88 that goes around 80. 80 is the word bronze, and is created from 88. As I said, 8 times 8, 8 plus 8. The chess game, the queen, the pawns, the number of pawns on a board, the number of different chess pieces. The half board of chess is actually 32. The 2 last numbers in the backgammon doubles is 32 and 64. 64 being 0. Zion, Israel, DC will also create what is AI, and it will also connect its number to what is gold, which is pliable first, which is the center to all, and then it connects itself to the moon as number 19. When it does that, it also connects to number 5, which is the E world. Reasons: the 5 card and the 9 card look the same. Not only that, but on the cubes, the 9 is inverted to the 5, in which the odds are at the casino 9 to 5, 5 and 9. They're not the same on the other dice. The 4 and 10 are 9 to 5. The 4 and 10 are also 9 to 5, but you can buy it for 2 to 1. I have to brush up on that. But I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe I hope I didn't make a mistake. Where was I with this next one? Is okay. Let me look at this. I'm doing good, Claudia. Thank you very much. Let me see this. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up maybe during this video or after. LALDAOTH. Okay, I'm just gonna look that up. Yes, 360 is the end and the beginning. In fact, the way I really understand it, if they were all within each other, they would wrap around each other 3 or 4. I'm not sure if it runs as teardrops, right? Are we running this circle? Are we running this way? Are we running I'm just trying to I'm not sure if I'm going to get this right. I don't know if I got that right. No, I didn't. I think it's like this, and then it's like this, and then it's like this, and then one's like this, and the other's like this, and we all go around this area over here. I'm just trying to see something else. There's the other one that is only this one over here, and this. Hold on a second. Let me do this again. Yeah. Okay. So if I look at this correctly, the jack in the deck of cards has something that looks like this. I think it's the jack that has that piece. I think I'm falling asleep at the wheel. Yeah. So what you would do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back at the beginning. 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 You do it 9 times, you got 360 done. You do it 10 times, you got 400. Is that right? 9 times 3. No, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Oh, anyways. Okay. Wow. I must be tired. Let me read through what's going on. I'm burnt. So does that mean your wife is born? Does that mean June 6, 66? Is that what that is? If it's June 6, 66, that's a very special day because it's the 6th month of the 6th day. And if you revert it from December, it becomes the 7th month of the 25th day. That's where you would go from all of July. You would go through July. Let me see if I did this again. You would do December, November, October, um, September, August. You would finish August. Did I get that right? Right. And then you would end up finishing going 6 days into July. It would be July 25th. So it'd be 7/7. What the number would be. If you would be in July, it would be 7/7. If you would be in June, it'd be 6/6. So that would be 3 and 4. Again, the house of DC, the divided house inside the house. There was something else I wanted to mention. Now I forgot what it was again. Wow. Wow. 66, 77. Yes. With the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah. It doesn't stop there. You finish 156 moons as the female. Let me see if I can. Where's my book? I need more paper. Yes, you finish on the bat mitzvah. The end of 12 years. you would have 156. There's 26 cubes. Every cube has 6 sides. You would have 156 sides. And how do I know? Right here. But the way you calculate this is 26 times 5 equaling to 130 plus 26. Okay, now I'm going to explain to you why. Is when the cube is sitting this way, if you want to do a calculation, you see what I'm doing right now is I keep creating understandings and equations. So I keep adding them on. I'm still learning this at the same time, and I'm just showing you what I know. I'm still learning. I'm still new at this. It's only 20 years. So when the dice cube falls, right, you're going to be able to see 4 sides and the top. See, this is number 19. Sorry, this is number 16, right? Sweet 16 is when 2 is up, when Venus is up. Why? 5 is down. The E world is down. Venus is up. 14 around. 14 around. 1 and 4, 5 and 6, 11 and 3, 14 plus 2, 16 plus 5, 21. There's always 33 void. So if we go in this position, right, there's supposed to be 33 void. So like this, we get 16 and 5. So here, we're going to end up with 4 void, and then over here we're going to have 29 void. So we're going to have 7, 2, and 9 come in. We're going to have 99 come in. Where do I get all this? Right here. If I show you the 4 corners, you will see 5 in the center. So that's where I get. It's all the leftover that you don't see in white. And then this will be 21, and this one will be 33. And then the equations that'll go along with this one will be connected into the moon, and this one will be connected into the sun. If this is the moon, we'll give it 17. If this is the sun, we're going to give it 18. Where do I get this number? 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 equals to this. The numeric value of the sun is 54. The numeric value of the moon is 75. Rotating the moon is the cube. 21 dots in the cube for 21 blackjack that rotates the moon. The moon plays on 17. You stand on 17. Okay. And why we do this? Because when you multiply this by 3, it equals to 51 Mars. When you multiply 18 by 3, it equals 54 for the sun. We stand on Mars. We rotate inside the sun. This is the IT system. It keeps telling me we come from Mars through the moons. So this is the Bat's Mitzvah. It's 12. When you multiply 12, you end up with 2 and 3 equaling to 5 and 6, which is now 11 and 30, which equals to King Home, which equals to 41. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 5 and 4. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 is 20 and 9. There's your 29. And that creates the IT system. I'm not sure if it's Intel, but I do know it's birth in a gate. 9 comes into a gate. 7, 9, 11. 8 is over here. 6 is over here. 5. Hold on a second. I'm a little busy. I'll call you back, please. Okay?
Okay.
Bye. Okay. So where do I get this? So this would be 7. This is 6. This is 5. This is 6. This is 5. This is 6. Here's where we get 5775 crossing over here. If you want to see something, I'm just going to go here real quick. I'm going to try and get back to the questions and show you what I'm doing. Right here. Right here. See this area? That's 7, 66. And all these numbers, when I move in this is what I call the gematria scale, counting up to 7 and then down to 1 and then over and up and down. And then you continue up here, and then this line will crisscross onto this side, and this line will crisscross onto this side. If it doesn't crisscross, then the 15 ball in pool will come over here, because this is how I can stack up my pool balls inside of this over here. This is 6886. This is where a hexagon and the octagons, hexagon, pentagram, and hexagon all come together. It's a little bit different over here. Here, let me get rid of that and get back to what I was working on. So we have the bat mitzvah. Now you also have to note that if each one of these had 6 dots, you would have 54, 54. You would have 9 times 54. You'd have 26 times 54 dots per cube. That would leave you with 1,440 dots. 1,440 minutes in a day. We only have to arrive at the number. Does it matter the order? This will create 8 and 9. I like to say high 52. Where does high 52 come from? That when you create these bricks here, building of bricks, the H is going to be over here. And then the I will be holding one brick above the other one. The top and the bottom of the brick will be 1 and 3, and this one will be 1 and 2. The female and the male, if you want to look at it that way, 1 and 3 for separation. If not, the number 5 and 2 also show up when you create these bricks. See the single square? See the single area square? When I create this brick, this is the cell. That's one area. And then here's this. So if I just keep creating, right, that's 2, and then I create 5, and then I create 2, and then I create 5, and then I create 2. It'll just keep creating high 52. So there's another numeric story that's going on with this. Just to note that RS, you can say reverse split, okay, are the opposite to these letters. So you get SHIR. I don't know. So this is, again, female bat mitzvah. There's a 27th area in here that owns the 6 areas. The last area, the 27th area, has 6 colors. The 26 areas have all the other colors. This one owns 6. The cube is split up of, let me see if I got this right. 6, hold on, there's 6 and 1 over here. The 6 colors, 12 and 8. Where there are 12 on the inside times 2 colors and 8 on the outside times 3 colors. And the total is 54. The same as area space, dot plus space. Then there's, I'm just going to get to the last point of this because I'm tired, but the female reign starts at the age of 13. So the number 7 now belongs to the female and is connected to Mars in this scenario, okay? The male is now connected to 9. You see, at first, right, at first, it was connected to 5. And now you're connected to love, and now you're connected to Reish, the one spirit in the heaven. And then it shifted, okay, when we shifted age, it moved over into number 7. And the reason I say that is because when you use number 7, you use number 7 in French 9 times. You use number 8 9 times. The male, I'm gonna get back to that. The male, okay, the male, the female becomes 13. The male is now at 14. So the female becomes the DC. The male becomes 9. The female is 7 and the male is 9. And they're not the same as the other numbers. The 9 for the male now sits in the moon. So the female, okay, or the bat mitzvah, okay, will get 7 and it'll get Mars. It'll get the window. It'll get 88 because it's a passage to the seventh gate. And the man is going to get 9 and because of 14. So I'm going to try and see if you can see this. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 4 and 5, 9. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4, 7. Now, why is 7 and 9 different? When you count in French, you will say 7. You will say 17, 27, 37, 47, 57, 67. You will say 77, which is 77. You will say 87, and you will say 97, which is 97. Why I say it that way, you will do the same thing for 8. You'll do the same thing for 9. But in French, okay, you do not separate. You add on differently for number 1 through 6 in French. When you get to 70, you go, when you go to 71, you go 11, 72, 12, 73, 13, 74, 14. You see, now you're going 14. Instead of going 17, now you're saying 4, ors. Then you're saying 15, then 6. But when you get to 17, 18, 19, you say that full number in its entity with the number 10 in front, which is also noted, can be noted as 509. The reason for that is all Roman numerals, or it can be 5 and 9, or EI. So the split between now the male and the female is 13 and 14. It now becomes the division at 13.5 matter and energy, and 135 says ace. And 135 also can be one of the words that says Sun 1, U3, N5. The Sun ace divided in the house of DC, because when you create the C letter, and let me see, when you create the C letter, right, the C, and you create the D, right, over the C, and you create the house of DC. So you create the D over the C. I'm just trying to really understand that. And I'm assuming somehow we live inside of here. Now the question is it 2 aces on top of each other? Is it 2 aces that do this over each other? The reason for that is when I was showing you, hold on a second, let me see this design again. When I was showing you this area here, should I be overlapping this and not crisscross, leaving any separation? The reason for that, okay, is because both these numbers here are number 1. Should I have touched them together? I have to redo this design to understand that a little bit deeper. See, here's the cube. This is the division 111 of 666, area 555 right over here. Okay, I'm going to go back. So that's what we have. So we now have the number 9 for the moon, and number 7 for Mars. We're coming in. We're using it in that realm. It doesn't mean it's 100% that, but it fits the matter because we must say 7 when saying 17 in French. So let me read down. Well, the thing is, okay, and I have trouble with it, you know. I have trouble knowing that there's more of a truth, and how can you live in a world that A, B, C, D is not proper. The thing is, we all need to be happy helping those around us. We all have to know that our security is all dependable on who's our neighbors, and then who's our friends, and then trust and respect and understanding what it is, trust and respect. You see, we're all making a prayer to something that's invisible when it's only us that were made in the image of God that has the last choice. Now you think you don't have a choice because of everything that's around you. And I heard today that somebody says you don't have a choice. Well, you don't have a choice outside your choices. You only have the choice you take. You choose. You choose. You choose 147 with 369. You choose 258 with 369, or you choose 147 with 258. Where do I get this? The Tesla vortex, when connecting the dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When connecting all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you go over it again. Where 1 goes with 147, 2 goes with 258. Anyways, through this design, I don't know if I have it. Let's see if I do have it. Here we have this one over here where Mars is at division with Pluto, 5184, 17 and 28. The angels divide, 81, the spirit of the heavens. Let me see. Do I have? Yes, over here. See the green one over here? That's 369 with 258. See the way it tilts to the right? Here I got 369 with 417. And then this one over here, I use them all. And I didn't do the one with 147, but when you take out 3, 6, and 9, use this. Look at the one on the top left, right? Use where 8 and 1 come in, right? Where just look at 147 and 258. Only look at the green and the green and the black in here. Take out the other one. You'll see what's left over. You can't use all the numbers. They're there to build with. Okay, I'm going to go back to the comments. I'm going back to a. I got 40 comments to look through, so please be patient. Let me look at this. Let me see how far back I have to go. Wow, I must be behind 200 comments. I'm going to wing through them, okay? $377, $231, ABC, and I don't know which way. I'd have to speak to somebody the way they look at numbers, but ABC is I believe is the alignment, and you're moving forward. You're not moving in a circle. You're triangular. But ABCD is 4 of them. So let me see. 8 void in 1, right? Eyes of the Moon, Cat Q Pause, Ram Joker, yes, Ram Joker, Joker, Jack Joker, Jesus, 41 Home Queen, right? And it extends from your creation, 11, your pole, your new pole, your pole of 1-6. I think that's what it was. Yo ho ho is number through 53. Let me see what this says. You want to go home to which place is the question. Because right now, the real home is acting now here. Because I believe that we chose to come here because we knew, we read the rules, le griffe, which means the signature. You read the rules, you know what goes on, you know at the end, you're going home. I'm here for a short time, not a long time. 13, 31, 13, man 28. 6 by 6, 36 by 6 is 216. Now you went through the moon. Another 6 would be 1296. And that 1296 is half of what the Maya is, right? 13.5 is the split in the sun. Also, the orange ball is 13 and 5. It creates 18. It creates Resh into the sun, right? Here we are. Creates Resh into the sun. This is half of the Mayan time. It also creates 369, or the E world, 596. You multiply and add 1 and 2. 396, and I think you just marked that right over here. That's funny. Yeah, an October, right? October. An octagon, the 10th month. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 and 8, the spinning of the wheel of the heavens. King of the Jews, 41. Jew actually says I, like an I am. The 10 is inverted to the 4 and also comes from 10, 4 also is part of DC. 6 times 4, 6 plus 4 equals the 10 and 24. 6 and 4, Zion Israel creates the divided gates in the house of 6 and 8 in the house of DC. 14, 17, 20, correct, all in a row. 14, 17, 20, correct. And it's 14, think of it this way, it's 14, which is at the peak, which is going to connect over to 16, let me see, 14 and 18. 14 gets a hold of 16 and 18, which are 7 and 9. Remember 7 and 9, how they come together. 7 and 9, the gate and the birth coming together, divided gates. The 9 drops underneath the 7 in the cube, and it comes in below the 7 in between 5 and 5. That's where the 9 comes into birth. In the E world, the I is born through the heavens of the 7th gate, through the passage of 66, which connect the moon 5775, as we've noted over here. Number 9 is right over here. Number 5 is right over here. 66 are touching each other. 6 connects 5 and 7. 6 connects 5 and 7. And 8 goes over 6, creating the cage of 88. And then the 9 is dropped right down below. And then it's 11 and 13. The male and the female, the last two over here. 11 and 13. And then when we go up, we do the same thing. So we have these two separate worlds. And the moons of Mars, the 2 moons of Mars, to come into the singular world. And that is the moon of Earth picking up the reception from the 2 areas. Imagine going to sleep here and waking up here. Same parents, same family, same parents, the same family. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Where am I? Okay, let me take this away. How do I get, okay. Let me get back to the comments. Gold is 38. You only need to take to know is to know that there is more, that if all these numbers work out, and if we go over these numbers again and put it into I need to make up a program in order to put all the equations into the program, and it'll work a lot faster than I could and tell me a bigger story, a greater story. And it all has to work out in sense because it all exists, and all that I take is all that exists. The IT system. Well, JAH is good because JA and H are all in the A family, right? Heaven's Angels. Jack is Heaven Angels. It's a plugin. J and H come together. J is the 10th letter. H, okay, is the 8th letter. And again, October comes together in those same 2 initials coming together. And that brings in the I birth. The A and H come together. A is inside of I. 1 is not like 2. H is 2 times 2 times 2. 1 is not like 2. Where can I get a multiplication and end up with a 10? A 10. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, 7 and 12, 19. 1 and 9 is 10. So that comes out of man moon, man on the moon. We're here because we have to take a stance. We have to take a stance. Our stance of doing nothing is getting together and doing nothing. The harmony shifts with the energy that comes off our breath. Now we still have to eat. We still need a roof over our heads. But we're all collecting from each other. I collect from you. You collect from me. Well, if we all stop collecting, they'll stop giving us our pay. So I'll have to give you your food. We have to be so well coordinated in order to pull this off. But the odds are stacked against us, as it seems, because if you knew all the secrets that were hidden, and that's why they're secrets, that's why they're private, because sometimes you can't know. Because if you know, too many people know, and then it's no longer a secret. Before something becomes in action, it has to be silent. All you have to know is that there's one on our side. Anyways, I've gone through everything. If anybody has any questions, I see there are 4 or 5 people here. If you would like to ask me anything, I don't know if I will have the answer. I'm tired, and it's 1:41:21 in the video. If we want to do something, I wanted to do one little thing. Did we do the mail, right? Or how many a full cycle, right? Just let me go over one thing. A full cycle is 4 cubes of 21 dots equaling to 84, getting 3 moons. All right? You have to do this 4 times a year in order to get 12 moons. So if you do that, you'll have to do this. You'll have to have 336. So in the creation of the sunlight, this 1 and 2 equals to 3. Now you'll end up with this. In the sunlight of AI, this is going to extend into 12 and 7 equaling to this. This is going to create this. Either it's going to be 7 and 2, or it's going to be 7 and 3. Inside the house of Bait, Earth's creation of the 7th gate, Sky Pass. 7 and 7, 14, 3 and 2 is 5. Number 23 and number 14 work like this. This is where 14, 16, 18, 19, 23, 14, 18, 21, 16, 19, 23. In between 5 and 5 is 34 and 40. So it becomes 5, 7, 4, 5. By the moon and the energy of time, of the cross of Jesus, passing the DNA inside, the love of the sun, the 2 zeros that come together, male and female come together. 55 is Sky Pass. So what's inside Sky Pass? Time, energy, Jesus. Where does it go? 17 and 20. Cutie. 17 and 20, 28. The number of man, 28. 7 times 4. 7 plus 4 equals 11, equals 28, equals to 39. Angel. 10. 52. 42, sorry, 42. What is this? 10 equals to 39. 3 letters. When you total 3 letters, they equal to 81 reverse. 42 is also noted to be the division of the gate. This is before the gate is divided. It becomes divided at 49. And 49 and 42 will become 91, the spirit. Now, how can I get a word with number 49 in it to get to 91? This, just give me a second to see if I would have to put this into, I don't want to come with that. This is Oh boy, I got myself in a little mess. I have to explain it. Above 10 and below 10, one section. Section of 9, section of 18, section of 27, 999. But the inside of that connection is 1 and 910, 2 and 810, 3 and 710, 4 and 610, 40. We'll never use all 40. We'll use this way, and this way. We'll only use 3 of these lines at a time. We'll use 6 areas, not 8. It gets broken up. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I want to just go back to something I started. So we start off with the 8 octagon. And what I do is I go ahead, right, and I'm going to put inside of it the hexagon. So now I have 1 6 inside of an 8. This is what happens when I put 1, the passage between 6 and 6. I get 6 and 6 inside of an 8, the division of the gate. If I want at the same time, if I did this properly, I can create the 5-point star, the 8-point star here, and the 5-point star here is inside of this one over here. And then we end up creating, what is this? I'm not really sure what I should be using this as, but this is where the 5-point star comes in. There's also the center of this. How do I get the center of that? Where it's the divided center. And now we have the 3 hexagons inside of each other, inside of 8. 666 inside of 8. 8666. And then you have V and you have W, Volkswagen 45. Now we can just add on the corners to this, you know, just like adding on the corners. And then we'd put, obviously, this would be our center. We'd end up creating what is actually the 9 lives, but through Mars replica. See the 4 windows? When it's the Earth replica, right? We have to create this either like this for the Earth replica. This one is Mars. This one is Earth. And the reason for that is this over here. That creates the single Earth. There is no straight line passage. The only passage through this one is this way, and that's the Queen. The reason for that is the Queen brings in the birth. The Queen, number 45, for the 45 angle, the numeric value for Queen is 62. The inverted to the house of Mars, which is 51 or 5 and 1, is what is 62. And what's ironic about that is that 5 times 1 equals 1. 5 plus 1 equals 6, and 5 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. I flip it over to 6 and 2. 6 times 2 equals to 12. 6 plus 2 equals to 8. 8 equals to 20 equals to 2. They're equal in the mathematical equation. 2 and 2, the final result. Is there any other final result? See, that's 6 and 8. So if I get 3 and 5, right, we're going to get 3 and 5. 3 times 5 equals to 15. 3 plus 5 equals to 8. The total is 23.5. I flip it over to 4 and 2. 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 plus 2 equals 6. 6 plus 8 equals to 14. 1 and 4 equals to 5. Well, let's try it again. Can we get 3 and 3? 6. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 6, equals to 9, equals to 15, equals to 6. I flip it over. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16, equals to 8, equals to 24, equals to 6. Fox 666, House of DC. Can I try it one more time? Is there another? We had this 8, this 8. Will it work with another number? Will it work with 9? 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 equals to 29. Now, if I do that, I get 11, then I get 2. So I flip it over, I get 32. So what happens here? 3 times 2, 3 plus 2 equals 6 and 5, 11. 11, I get 2. So would you say the dice are perfect? Let me see. Born into Mars. Right. Mortal Kombat. Right. MK. Right. Anyways, I think we're going to end the video. I'm going to take a check, see if I had to back up to do anything. I was working on a piece of the word 80 equals 74. 88 equals to what is the gateway, the final result over here. This will be your 40 and your 9, depending on how you want to get your 40. And then there's, I'm just looking at the numbers to Mars, you know. And then this over here, which is just a 1x, 2x, 3x's, 4x's, 5x's, 6x's. And you connect them and you can create that within the x's. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. What can we do? What can we do? What would be the guidelines of having things change? If we all started staying home, taking days off, we would interrupt the system. If we would all turn off our TVs and take out a baseball bat, I don't know. I don't know. I know it would have to be really drastic. Like everybody just sit home for 3 weeks. Just everybody sit home for 3 weeks. That would be, you know what I'm saying? Go against, because every breath you make, every choice you make, it's too late. The minute you think, don't think you haven't been heard. Because the system, every breath you take, every time you exhale, you have said something to space. And we live based on the Holy Ghost that comes inside the motherboard, that helps us to use our brains, to recollect, to use what we have, to stretch out and get the information that's somewhere, but I can't remember. It's at the tip of my tongue. I don't know what it is. I like to say it's hi-ho silver, because every time I look outside and the sun is shining hard, that sky is filled up. It's like silver. It's like a mirror when you look out there. And we have to get into that realm. We have to break loose. And the thing is about theater and games. It's understanding them. There's a depth through it. They were created from things that were created. They made a game out of in creation. Peace. The money is the control. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it was brought to my attention something, and I just want to go right back to the beginning and read something that I posted. And I bow my head. What is the truth? If everything was a calculation, we may see the difference in the balance of good or evil and neutral. How can we do this in games? Professional and amateur, all that is defined in the Webster of Webs, the dictionaries, thesauruses, all those things that define words that every person, Tom, Dick, and Harry, or the highest of all judges, use these books. We must use these books to understand their definition, because the words we speak, okay, are not the words of judgment. The words of judgment are those bound inside the courts. Which way we put the word is how the word is. We have to unscramble how we speak. We are made up of what exists. The letters in the letters in multiple ways of use. A, B, C. In values, moving it to moving A, B, C inside forms of 7. What I mean is, how did we get 26 letters into 7? 1 through 7 down to 1. Different letters have a different, like in gematria through 7, F and H come together, S and U come together. The reverse of F is H. 14, 7 is the gateway. The reverse of S and U is also it's 12. It's 40, and in that case 20 is the difference. But when you go to gematria, I can still use the total of 6 and 6, 12, where S and U, 1 and 2 is 3. So both what was 6 and 8 is now an average of 3. What was an average of 7.5 or moving through the moon now comes down to an average of 3, because of running the alphabet through gematria through the cycles of 7. Then there's Chaldean. Then there's recentering the alphabet to 360 degrees, where A is 6 and Z is, yes, 31. In games, one team wins, gold. One team loses, bronze. An award for achievement but gets nothing, or are they runner-up? Just a mirror of the game, the potential they had and everything they did, but they don't get the win. There's no prize for runner-up. But if you come in second, if you tie, is that silver? So do you end up at bronze if you lose the game, or you just end up at runner-up, where there is no silver? So because we have to understand different methods of using our first, second, and third. Because obviously, when you play a hockey team or a baseball team, there's only 2 teams. It's first and second, but second gets just statistics. In hockey, like Mars, 5 players, and 5 and 1 is Mars. We have 5 players, and I got something under my foot. We have 5 players and a goalie in hockey. We have 2 wingmen, angels. We have 1 center, the body. Then what is the goalie? Holding between the posts. The goalie is holding everybody up. So we have 1 and 5 holding everybody up. In baseball, there's 9, where we start with the pitcher and the catcher. We need the 2 of them. That would sound like the house of bait, 2 and 7. Instead of what is the pitcher, 1 and everybody else on the field. Depends how you want to look at it. In football, there's, I think, 11 in one sport and 12 in the other one. One where there's a 50-yard line and one where there's a 55-yard line. In the 50-yard line, it's divided by a fine line. In the 55-yard line, it's divided with an area space in between the 2. The fine line tells me Earth and Mars are together. This area space tells me Mars is connected to the 4 corners of the planet. Just a thought, just a trend of thought. Yeah, and that's it. New comment. Let me read the new comment. Yes, Celsius and Fahrenheit. I think minus 18 Celsius is 0 Fahrenheit, 180 degrees. It's a fine line for the cat. Yes. 6 and 9. So here's the way I look at it. Your 9 birth, the tail of the fish, the 9 birth. Here's your Mars tail. Earth is up, Mars is down. Your 6 life, Earth is down. I mean, Earth is here. Mars is up here. Mars is down here. Mars is up here. Mars is the single line. Earth has a center to it. One is the donut and one doesn't get separated. Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus, high 66. Thank you for watching this video.